Rolls up inside! Do you remember your first baseball or softball bat? Whew. Your first tennis racket? Yeah, this was mine. The first time you ever stepped onto a field or a court. The first time you ever put on a uniform. No matter what I played, who coached, or who watched, sportsmanship was first and foremost. Anne Arundel County Public Schools Coordinator of Athletics, Clayton Culp, put together a Student Athlete Advisory Council. And today we talk about sportsmanship of the fans, the parents, the coaches, and the student athletes themselves. So let's get to it. How do fans and parents display sportsmanship?
For fans and parents, I think it's important when they can engage with them in the game. Like, you want to hear your team, even your classmates who can be your fans, supporting you.
Fans and parents can demonstrate good sportsmanship by encouraging players instead of discouraging them, and leading by example, and not doing what they wouldn't want us to do in the stands.
They're cheering for their own team, not making negative comments about the other team, and just being positive overall and setting a good example.
Being a good sport to me or for the fans would be just trying to motivate the player, trying to make him feel good about himself, not trying to mention the things that he did or she did bad in the game. Just trying to encourage the player to do better for the next game. If they're going to criticize them, at least give some type of feedback where they can do better instead of trying to bring them down.
The fans and the parents show good sportsmanship by cheering for their own team, being positive all throughout the games, and not making negative comments towards their own team or judging them in the wrong way along with the other team.
And our parents cheer for them, and their parents cheer for us. And if we lose at one competition because something happens, they'll come up to us and say, "Oh, you should have won," or like, "You did very good."
They should always support their players on the well for basketball on the court. They should always bring them back up. Always say positive things.
At counties, we had a really big student and parent section, which really helped us, and they cheered on every team, which is good sportsmanship with everybody.
I think by being calm and respectful to the refs, understanding that what they're doing is hard and they're just trying to do their best and no one's trying to upset anyone. Basically just being positive people and not trying to be like negative, harp on the negatives.
I see them doing good sportsmanship when they stay cheering on their team and not like being a coach. Just stay a fan.
The fans and parents show good sportsmanship by being really supportive of everyone that's around them and really showing how much they care, especially with posters and different cheers that we like to do.
Fans are like a little more rowdy, you know. They kind of get like yelly and stuff, but for swimming it's a lot calmer. Like they're just parents in the stands and they're just like cheering on their kids, trying to get them to win their events, and it's a lot calmer.
How do coaches teach and demonstrate sportsmanship?
Coaches exhibit good sportsmanship by controlling their temper and respecting a referee's decision.
I see coaches exhibit good sportsmanship by making sure their players, they always do the good things.
Coaching is like, you need to keep a positive attitude towards yourself and your team and your athletes, and not comment towards the other coaches or comment on how all the athletes of the other team are playing.
When we lost, he was really nice about it. Like, he would go up to the coaches, he would be like, "Good job, your players are fantastic. They're gonna do great in the future." And he was like very nice to everybody.
Coaches should always be demonstrating sportsmanship by helping their own team up and not judging or like bringing down players of the other team or coaches on the other team, and just being kind and respectful to everybody else.
Keeping your athletes in check, keeping them all together. Like, there's always conflict on a team, you know, one wants to be superior over the other, but the coach can really keep us at a ground level.
They clap for the other team. They don't, and they don't say yes, like the other team fell. They encourage them to get back up like everybody else.
I think they can also be calm and positive, just not really trying to haggle the refs and get all up in their face.
All the coaches from other teams are all friends. They all text each other, say, "How did you do at this competition? We hope you do good." And anytime they walk by, we always scream good luck.
By staying positive and not giving up no matter what the circumstance.
Showing good sportsmanship is maybe for the weakest player on the team, at least during practice giving them the opportunity to at least try and giving them feedback instead of just sitting back watching them just fail, not giving them feedback. Because what my coach says, we're just as good as our weakest player. So if we're not improving the weakest player, then we're probably going to be just as weak as them as a team.
The coaches show good sportsmanship by allowing an opportunity for everyone to play a sport no matter what their athletic ability may be.
How do the student athletes show sportsmanship?
Student athletes exhibit good sportsmanship by, supporting their teammates. If they're down, always bring them up.
Before a team comes on the mat, we have a chant that says good luck, and when they get off the mat, we say we are proud of you.
I ran relays, so with those 3 other girls, we formed such a great friendship, and even outside of that, we would study together and we would hang out a lot. So once you form your team as a family, I think it all just flows together.
Some teams aren't as good sportsmanship than others, but if we lose, we don't get sore thumbs about it. We just kind of brush it off and say, congrats, you should have won. We don't get upset about it or tweet anything.
I think it's generally being a respectful person, not trash talking or trying to intimidate your enemy or opponents.
By being nice to everyone and still being competitive even though you might not like the other team.
Staying honest, in basketball, with a certain call, if they know it's not going their way, they shouldn't try to be dishonest, even if it's a close game, because in the end it might, maybe later in the season it can come back to haunt them, maybe karma.
Student athletes demonstrate good sportsmanship by respecting each other's hard work that they've put in and not bringing them down about how good or bad they are.
An athlete can show good sportsmanship by making sure that we're supporting everyone, and we have a really good program for seniors where we do senior posters for every senior night, and we really just support everything in any endeavor that we're trying to do.
Supporting each other and supporting the other team if something bad happens or somebody gets hurt, and just not making any negative comments and keeping a positive attitude during the whole game.
Our school, I guess, is really friendly to everyone. Field hockey, we had a sportsmanship event where we knew that we were going to lose against a team, but we still brought cupcakes and brownies and hot dogs and stuff. And after the game, even though we lost, we were all still friendly about it, and we ate together and had fun.
The most important thing while you're playing soccer is to respect the other players, respect the opponents, and make sure that you control your temper so that an outburst does not happen.
A special thanks to the Student Athlete Advisory Council, Anne Arundel County Public Schools Coordinator of Athletics Clayton Culp, and all of the athletic directors in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Wiley Baker. I'll talk to you on the court, on the field, or on the air. But until we meet again, always remember, sportsmanship first.